was an old skull. What a lucky find for a pair of young adventurers.
It was easier to climb these walls back then. Not merely because we're older, but because the ruins are too. Of course. You said we needed to bury him. Do you remember where?
Well, one would think burying a human skull would stick in the mind, but somehow... no.
Aa! Adam kovalıyor bizi.
An old man was standing here as we passed.
Oh yes, I remember his face as we flew by with a skull in our hands.
He looked as shocked as our grisly companion.
Nothing ever bothers an old Ottoman backgammon player.
This wasn't the right place for a funeral. We were looking for somewhere more appropriate.
Funny, nowadays you love putting men behind bars.
You're a fellow of The water level was higher back then.
I remember swimming through this mire while trying not to breathe in the horrible odour.
This is where we buried it. It seems that with time, our friend has emerged once more. The skull is ancient. Its likeliest owner was one of the Knights Hospitaller who died during the siege of the fortress. I remember now, you said this skull was my father's.
A child's imagination is a powerful tool. You needed this. A burial process of your own. A ritual so you could begin to grieve.
Here hung those lips that I have kissed, I know not how oft. I felt so alone back then, John. Uncertain. Abandoned by my father.
I know.
The skull wasn't his, though it may as well have been. In the earth, all of us look alike. But putting this man to rest, it did help.
I'm glad, Sherry.
I find myself rather tempted to keep it. If not for sentimental value, then it's archaeological merit. Oh, so it has taken root.
What's taken root? As I recall, when we were growing up, this theatre didn't welcome kids.
You've forgotten, John. Come to the back entrance and I'll refresh your memory.
Ah.
Yeah, I still see nothing.
You need to focus, my dear friend. Watch me. Here was our glorious stage. Ring any bells?
Ah, we don't need to dwell on the past, Sherry.
And Hamlet's mother, Gertrude, taking poison. What was the name of that girl? Oh, Georgina, of course. She was our neighbour.
Oh, I remember her. She liked you.
And there you were, the best supporting actor. My silent scene partner, my Yorick. Your presence inspired me and brought me to tears.
Yeah, it hurt to know that's all I could be. Inspiration. I couldn't even play the king's ghost. How's that for irony? To be or not to be? Indeed.
I know why you wanted to forget. The show forced you to confront your limits, except no one else would ever see you but me. Why do you think I cried? In the end, the audience was thrilled. I can still hear their roars after the final act.
You were so pleased with yourself when the theatre director came down to admire your work.
He applauded. A huge gesture from a man for whom children on stage was an anathema.
One small step for a man, one giant leap for students of the dramatic arts.
Childhood is a time of naivety. I cannot now imagine seeking a career as an actor, drinking wine all day and gaily treading the boards at night.
Yet you often pretend to be someone else in your search for the truth. You can't act like this side of you disappeared completely.
Quite. This, above all, to thine own self be true.
Yüzümüz darmadağınık makyajlı.